Should fighting and bickering and arguing be part of our relationship? And if not, what can we do to stop it?
Okay.
Let's talk about that and much more here on this episode of Couples Pursuit Live.
Couples Pursuit.
Hello, this is Vincent
And Valerie
Woodard. And on this episode of Couples Pursuit,
our topic is when fighting isn't fair. Why there is no such thing as a fair fight in marriage.
Exactly. So, look, baby, I know we talked about this. We talked about this a lot, actually, in other episodes. But I don't know if we ever actually got to the part of we don't believe in the fighting and arguing and bickering. We've done that for so long in our relationship.
Yeah.
And we got to a point, you know what? Time out. It's enough.
Listen. Man,
It's enough.
the time we wasted.
Yes. What are your thoughts? Tell the world officially. What are your thoughts?
Listen, I'm going to say something I have said many times. I will say it many times over. The true test of love is when you're not, is shown when you're not happy with the person that you love.
Wow. Yeah.
I want to say that better. What I said to him while we were dating is the true test of whether you love me or not is how you treat me when you're not happy with me.
Exactly.
When you are not pleased with something that I have said or done, we don't share the same opinion. You're frustrated, you're tired, you're angry, you're overworked. All of that didn't come into play during the time we were dating, but that is what plays out over time. How do you treat a person when they're not pleasing you? Because it's easy to be nice and loving and kind when things are going smoothly. Yeah,
when you feel like showing kindness and feel like showing, and you should feel that way all the time. But sometimes you get in your feelings, you get in your emotions too far, and what comes out is this frustration that we take out on our spouse because they're the person that we're probably with at the time, and the person that we're probably having these emotions that the emotions that are coming up about a certain situation that whatever we're talking about, and instead of really talking about the issue, we get so offended sometimes. That was my problem. We get so offended at the fact that first of all there is an issue.
Yeah.
That there is an issue. I don't see the issue the same way you see it. So my way must be right and you must be wrong. But instead of saying it quite that way, I choose to give 3 arguments of why.
Let me tell you why I'm not happy with you, since you want to talk about not being happy with me.
Yeah, and we go down this rabbit hole of wanting to prove why you're wrong and I'm right. And as soon as you understand that, I think
everything will be better.
Yeah, everything will be better. And so and then the other person is probably like, no, I'm not crazy. No, this is not the way. Even if it's not quite the whole way, the perspective that the person sees it, I'm not totally wrong. You're not going to make me feel like I'm just crazy. I'm totally wrong. So we get into the part where fighting comes into play, arguing, fussing. Some people even cuss.
Call each other names.
We get like fighting dirty. And that's why we label this, fighting isn't fair. And there should be no room for fighting in your marriage. When it gets escalated to a point like that, that's what this episode is about. We want to get you to understand something, or have you some things to think about or ponder upon when you find yourself getting escalated, getting to that point, because it shouldn't be an option to say, you know what, if she keep on, or if he keeps on, he gonna get it. I'm talking about your husband. I'm talking about your wife.
Yeah, your partner.
Yeah, if they keep on.
The other part of you.
Yeah.
Because when you're married, you become one. You're no longer two, but the twain, the join together become one.
Look, so that was a long intro, but we're so glad to have you here with us on Couples Pursue Live. Our goal is to give you the tools and strategies to pursue and to maintain your spouse. So if you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Look, hit that like button and also share this video with someone that you know that maybe it could help them.
Yes.
So the first thing, baby, I believe that we should talk about when a person gets to a point where you're having a potential. You have a disagreement. A difference of opinion. And you're frustrated. I don't really understand why she feels that way. I don't know why he's thinking that way. I don't know. I'm tired of him or her bringing up things to me. Yeah. And here we go again. So now the blood starts, rushing. Boiling. Yeah, in the veins. Your heart rate starts to boom, 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 and you're breathing, you get shallow. You're reliving it, baby. Yeah. And people are going through it right now. You're out of breath. I feel it. Yelling, you're screaming, you're slamming doors, walking out. So and mentally, before we even get there, mentally blocking the other person out. Yes. Man, I liken it to, well, I probably should let you get into it first. No, go ahead. I was going to say I liken it to children who are fighting over a toy. Two toddlers. It's mine. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. And then this breakdown, and they're screaming and falling on the floor and kicking and, drooling and all of these different things. That sounds far-fetched, but really if we were to record ourselves, video and audio, video or audio, and really hear what we sound, if someone else were to do it, because if we did it, we'd be kind of tempering ourselves like, I better chill. I want him to know how he sounds. I want her to know how she sounds or how they look. But if we were to see our behavior played out, we would be embarrassed of how we behaved most of the time, because we should not fight. Yeah, that's right. And that's if you want to fast forward, this is the fast forward. You shouldn't fight. You shouldn't fight. No, and I'll tell you why. It's not like, okay, they've made it. That's good for them. That works for them. No, what we've learned. We still have difference of opinion. That's right. We just don't fight about it anymore. And because it wastes so much time. So much precious time. Yeah, and let me qualify that statement. I say we don't fight about it anymore. That doesn't mean that we avoid the topic. That's true. It doesn't mean we avoid the discussion. We don't just sweep it under the rug. We deal with it like mature adults who love each other, and we prefer one another. We don't want to hurt one another, embarrass one another. And I say embarrass because some people fight in public. Some people fight on Facebook, on Instagram. I don't mean like talking and saying, and you know something is going on in their relationship. Like something right in their house. They're having a moment. I remember one time I posted something on Facebook and you were like, babe, is everything okay? And I was commenting with a sentiment that I agreed with, but it had nothing to do with us. I was like, ooh, let me take that down, because it doesn't have anything to do with us. Yeah, that's right. Oh, something I don't know, but it was just like, I shared something that was very true about how you have to deal with people who mistreat you. And it didn't have anything to do with you. It wasn't even about a relationship. It was just about relationship in general with other people. Like, you got to let people be who they are. You have to stand your ground and not, allow people to run over you. And his husband was like, babe, is everything okay? Yes, dear. Gonna delete that comment. Because if he thought that, there was nothing wrong with me having that opinion, but I am also of the opinion that, sound bites and just, throwing out things, you can't just agree with blanket statements and things like that, because, a lot of things are much deeper than, a blurb. That's right. A meme or a sound bite. That is right. That is right. I still correct it. Well, that's why we have these conversations. That's why we do these Facebook, or we do these lives, we do these episodes, because this is streaming everywhere. Yes. And we're just so grateful to be able to come to people through the podcast and through the radio show. Yes. So YouTube. It's so many ways we are getting this message out that and the number one. So let me lead to the number one. The first point is when you get to a point where you feel like, you know, all those things I talked about, where you're frustrated, you feel like you want to, you know, get escalated, your voice might want to get louder, basically, aka fight or argue or fuss or whatever. Let's remember the first point. First point is this: it's important to remember that you are on the same team.
Hello, partners.
The same team, and you both should have the same goal.
Yeah.
Which is to have a happy and healthy marriage.
Yes.
A happy and healthy marriage. You know, something came up. Alrighty, okay, we're talking about it. But then at the end of this conversation, if we're not still striving towards a happy and healthy marriage, maybe that comment should not be said. Maybe that sentiment should not be, you know, exclaimed.
But wait, how about this? Well, I was just mad. It was just the heat of the moment. You know, everybody says things when they get angry.
The goal is to have a happy and healthy marriage. So at the end, you mad. Now you're not mad, I guess, but now your partner is not happy.
Yeah, you feel better because now you've unloaded and you've said something to anger them or to push a button and granted, we are the keeper of our buttons. So we should not allow anyone to push our buttons. I am the keeper of my button.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's good.
So we can't make the excuse as an adult, well, he made me or she made me or because you did this, I did that. No, you have complete availability to self-control. Whether you use it or not is one thing, but you have that ability. There is no excuse. There are so many people that are in the ground and behind bars because of impulsive motives.
Yes.
They have said something that has started a fire that couldn't be put out. They have done something that has started a fire that couldn't be put out. Said and done things along the way, not done the repair, not taken accountability for themselves, and have lost marriages, relationships, family, time with their children, et cetera, because of pride and anger in the heat of the moment. Yeah, anger is the enemy to your relationship if you don't handle it well. Exactly.
And you know, we and sometimes in that moment of frustration, you get to the point where you feel like it's personal. You know, you feel like you're either being attacked or you on the offensive, and what this next thing I'm going to say is going to, it's going to touch, it's going to push a button, you know, because it's out, you put this out here, and I know this is going to push that button, and I have green lit it, and here it goes.
Yep.
That's where I used to live in a point where my wife loves to talk. I know y'all see me talking up here, but I'm not really like that much of a talker. I got my, phrases and things that I say, but especially if we're at a point where I know I don't agree with what you're saying, then I would leave it at that. I would leave it at I don't agree. I don't agree. And then, but what helped me is that I mean even one time, even the latest disagreement we had, it's like I felt myself like going to the point where no, I don't agree. But then it's like my mind swooped around the backside of you and looked at that argument from over your shoulder.
Oh,
and it was like, okay, but in her eyes,
I like that.
This is how it portrayed to her, and this is how she got that reaction, and
I can see maybe how she got that.
Yeah, once I saw over her shoulder, I was like, okay, I didn't mean that. Maybe that's what I meant to say, and I have to own that part because I didn't mean for it to come out like that. And man, I urge you to use that the next time. Hopefully there is not the next time, but you were humans. You find yourself getting to a point where, you know what, we're just going to leave it as is. We're going to agree to disagree. We're going to just drop it. We're going to just whatever. But it's still not resolved. To make sure you look over your partner's shoulder and say, okay, what did I do? What happened? How did they get this perception of the same conversation that we're having?
Yeah.
But, she got a different thing out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that person, yes, your husband also.
Right.
Yeah. So remember, you're on the same team. That's number one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So number two, it's crucial to listen to what your partner, your spouse, your husband, your wife is saying.
This one is so good. Can I talk about it for a moment? If you are talking while your spouse is talking, you are not listening. If you are thinking about what you want to say while they're saying whatever they're saying, you are not listening.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Men, we are so bad about that. We are so analytical sometimes, and we want to have a counter argument prepared for when it's our turn to talk, and so the whole time we was like, okay, let me hold on to that. She said this at the beginning of the sentence. Let me hold on to that. That's not really correct. Actually, it wasn't Tuesday, it was Wednesday. So
I'm gonna tell you, listen, y'all, hello everyone out there within earshot of us. That is the most infuriating thing. And what happens is sometimes, and it doesn't matter if it's the woman or the man who's doing it. When someone is talking to you and trying to share their heart with you about something, and you're nitpicking about the different words that they're saying and creating a different argument and creating a different disagreement, that is likened to gaslighting. It's like, you're telling me that what I'm saying is not true. I know what I'm saying is true. And now you're fighting with me about the words that I'm using to express to you, to tell you that I am hurt, disappointed, confused, frustrated, afraid, whatever emotion has brought me to talking to you. And the person whom I have, betrothed myself, I'm married to you, I'm connected to you, I'm hooked up with you. You are my most intimate person in this world. I share my life, my body, my space with you. Now you're behaving as if I'm a complete lunatic and I don't know what I'm saying, and whatever I'm saying you don't want to hear, and you just want to shut the person down by starting a fight about nothing. That is counterproductive. The one thing about it, though, is that depending upon the communication style of your spouse, it might work. And what I mean, they might stop talking. They may back off. They may get quiet, cry, go away, agree with you. But is your winning and shutting them down worth the hurt that they suffer, worth the tears that they may cry, even if they don't cry, worth the distance that it puts between you? Because it will put distance between you. It will put emotional distance between you. And then you'll begin to fight about the other things that are not happening. Well, why she don't want to be bothered? Well, why doesn't he want to go out? Why you don't want to watch a movie? No, I don't feel like it tonight. All these different things that can happen, and
that's the waste of time that I was talking about. That's the part where, okay, after the argument, the lashing, the fussing,
the passion,
because then it's the aftermath
of anger. Yes, the fallout. And who's listening?
Oh wow.
Do you have children?
Wow.
Do you have adult children? Even if they don't say anything, they feel it. Boy, they feel it. They feel the tension. I felt the tension in the house when my parents had disagreement. I felt it. I felt it in my body. I remember now what it felt like.
Wow.
Do we think our children didn't feel it? They did. They understand.
It's coming when you close the door, though, baby.
No, sir. It doesn't matter. You can close the door all you want to. If you're yelling, it doesn't matter if you close the door. When your demeanor changes, well, Mom, what's wrong with Daddy? Why is Daddy sleeping on the couch? Is Daddy come home for dinner tonight? Where mama? I don't know.
You can also tell, this was a good one I noticed too, is that when the children come tell us things separately.
Yes. Why are you taxing your children with your that again takes us back to being childish. It is childish and counterproductive to argue. It's like us building a house together and then taking a hammer and just going at the wall. What is the point of doing that?
Yeah.
Other than selfishness. Now, I do want to say this, and I know we have several other points to cover. If you're having difficulty in your marriage, and your partner is angry, combative, non-communicative, they don't like to talk, if they have shut down emotionally, if they have always been closed off emotionally, these are opportunities for you to get closer to them by really finding out what's going on with them. You should be concerned about how I feel, how I am doing, how I relate to certain things. And I should be concerned about you.
Yes.
If you notice I cringe when certain things happen or are said or done, that should be a clue that there's something deeper. What's going on there? You know, and some people may feel like, well, I'm not really a talker. Well, learn how to be a talker.
You know,
for the sake of your marriage.
I think it's really good. And that's a really good point. I think it's really good how, like, say you come home from work or wherever you was at, and you know your partner, you know how you normally do when everything is good and lovely and jovial, and you say, "Hey, baby, how was your day?" He was alright.
Dig deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you know if your spouse is the kind of person that you don't, they're gonna keep telling you it's alright because in their mind they're thinking they're doing you a favor by not putting their whatever it is happening at work or whatever on you. So sometimes you do this thing right here. When I come home, I say it was good. You know, it was good. And so you wait a little bit and you be like, you asked me another follow-up question. You was like, did you get to, I don't know, do something you said you was gonna do after work today? And then you hear that answer and you be like, you sure you're okay? Yeah. You know, and I'm like, I'm okay. Let me. Now
that I think about it,
I didn't want to burden you. I mean, it was good. I was telling you it was good. It wasn't the best day ever.
Right.
But you're concerned, and I know I feel it on me. You feel it on me. So okay, all right, we got room. You turn around and we talk. You know,
right.
And so I think that's something that people can take away. You know, some people say it's not pestering, it's just you allowing room for the conversation.
It's decompressing. You know, we spend, those of us that work outside of the house or those of us that work in the house, doing different things, we spend most of our waking hours doing that. Yeah. And if you're working and interacting with others, or you're just, you're working from home on a computer with clients or making phone calls or whatever it is, life can bring situations that become bothersome and stressful, especially when you work with the same group of people, like your work family. Sometimes the demeanor and the disposition of people, they rub each other the wrong way, or, they don't know each other as well. And so there may be disagreements. Yes. Situations where they don't agree. And what are you supposed to do with that? Yeah. Are you just supposed to stuff it down? They say when you get to work, you leave everything at home. Leave home at home.
Yeah, I don't bring work home, but you came home from work. And that leads us to our third point. We actually had kind of talked about it. Was don't forget to communicate, after whatever y'all want to call it, the fussing, the arguing, even the disagreement. Don't forget, let's talk, because that was something, or whatever. That was, I don't like that. I didn't like the way that left us. I don't like the way it felt. And, so let's talk about it, Yeah. And once again, it's not the goal is not to be right. The goal is to have a happy and healthy marriage. We want to get to the point where we're always coming back to the center, which is I want you to be happy. You want me to be happy. We keep actually not going at it. That's not a good word. But it's like my goal is your goal,
picking each other apart.
And here we go again.
Yeah.
So let's let our goals, the thing that we're going to strive for, that we're going to contend for, is a healthy marriage,
togetherness, oneness, unity.
Yeah.
And so we actually have said and still do hold to this. We do not fight. We don't fight.
That's right.
You mentioned our last interaction. You're talking about date night before our last.
Yeah.
Yes. So what would you call that? A disagreement? What do you say we do?
No, we had a discussion. I don't know. Misunderstanding. It was I took
and
it
it's
to
not a pretty word.
Yeah.
We're not trying to make a pretty word for the fight. We actually had this discussion, this conversation at the theater in between.
Yeah.
At all day DAYT. We go on dates sometimes when we start in the morning and we just go out until the evening.
Yeah.
Doing different things. And this happened to be one of those times where they had like discounted movies. So we're going to see 3 movies. We're going to go out to dinner and then we're going to do whatever else. And so we actually had this discussion in between one of the movies.
That's right.
Nobody knew what we were talking about.
And we went to sit down.
Yes. And people are walking all around. And it's not like, oh my God, what's going on? No one knew. As far as they knew, we were just
talking
on a date and having a conversation.
Yeah.
So it was not a fight.
Is that what Can I Talk to You looks like? I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Let me talk to you for a minute.
Really want to talk about something.
We have a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
And it's possible to get there. It did not last. We did have to take a moment. It wasn't like 30 seconds. It was like 5 minutes of, okay, well, no, I don't really feel that way. Well, this is what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
And this is why. I need you to try to look at it from this point of view. I'm not angry with you, but I need you to understand what I meant what I said.
Yeah.
And I believe what I felt like is I said something and you didn't trust that. I don't know if she really...
Yeah.
Is she okay with it?
Is she just saying
that? And I'm like, don't
just
do that. If I say it, that's what I mean. And that's what I mean. So he was feeling bad about having taken me to a jacked up movie because it was very violent and very... Was there a lot of profanity too?
I don't know about
it. But it was like super violent.
Look, I told my movie person. I said, look, next time you recommend a movie to me, you recommend it with the ideal that I'm taking my wife. Okay? Don't remember when you recommend something for me to go see.
It was a lot, and I'm a person who doesn't necessarily like everything in my gates, in my eyes, in my ears. Now, does that mean I never watch anything that has profanity in it? No, because I would never watch anything these days. But it was very violent, and I would cover my eyes, not because I'm afraid. It's like I don't want to see that. I know it's going to be gory. There was like blood flying and heads falling off, and I was like, whoa. And he was feeling condemned because he's like, oh gosh, I already know.
I didn't do my due diligence.
I know how she is. He went there. I know how she is, and she's gonna be mad. And so even though I was telling him, baby, it's okay. I said we could leave. Well, I said I didn't want to leave. Now, okay, can we just? We're good.
Yeah.
And so we had to talk about that a little bit. So, and I think the peeking over the shoulder was, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the peeking over my shoulder was, now, it's true that she said she was okay. It is true that the movie was very violent. It is true that I didn't know it was. And she's not upset with me. I'm braced for her being upset because I know what her preference is. And so I'm waiting for the
like she should have been. She could have been. It was her right.
I chose not to be. I'm not mad. I'm happy that we're going on a date.
Yeah.
And guess what? It didn't end the date.
No.
It didn't ruin the date.
Yeah. It didn't go to a place where we're just gonna try to move on. You want something to drink? You want? Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Now I had to get myself together because I was upset. I was bothered by the fact that you didn't just believe what I said.
it. And I was like, nope, come on, snap out of it. That's not what's important. This is loving time. This is fun time. This is play time. Don't you dare let it get, rained on.
That's true.
By some foolishness. Let's go to the second movie, the third movie. Let's go out to eat, and have a good time. And we did.
We did. So, and it didn't have to lead to, there's no justification for it to lead to an argument because we didn't see the same point. She saw something different than I saw. And now, I'm going to prove to you why you're wrong and why I'm right. And no, you shouldn't disagree with me. And here we go. You brought on yourself, anime. You think you're right.
I'm laughing, babe, because really, if you break it down, now we've had more serious, issues than this. And I know some people are like, oh, that's nothing. Well, you don't know where we came from. So don't tell us it's nothing, because anything could turn into a fight several years ago.
Yeah.
But I'm laughing because we actually ended up having a disagreement about the fact that I wasn't angry. You sure? Yes, you are. I'm not angry. Yes, I know she must be. No, I'm not angry. And now we're going to get angry because we're discussing the fact that I'm not angry.
Oh, could have
been.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, no. Who wins? No one. Love has to win.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we thank y'all so much. I hope this helped for real.
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, we hope this helps.
Discussions. We'll have to come back to this again.
Yeah. Fighting is never fair. Arguing is never. It's not. It shouldn't be an option. I had a friend of mine tell me that he was like, well, sometimes you just gotta, lay it down and put your foot. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
And your foot should have stayed down first of all.
You keep your feet on the ground, right?
What was doing up? What's the
That's the whole. That's what
okay, all right. Take us out, babe.
No. We have to say this too. Remember, gosh, it was many times over over the course of our marriage, but there towards the time we were talking about divorcing and separating. You told me once, this is just what people do when they fight. It's like, this is normal. That's what happens when you get angry. And I know a lot of people believe that and really have experienced that. When you get angry, you say whatever you want and you do whatever it takes to make you feel better or to make the other person feel small. Excuse me. Or maybe some people even have adapted themselves to the idea of, once you fight, it's the making up, that making up, the love making after is so much better. No. I mean, if you haven't been together for a while, then I get that there is excitement, especially if you've estranged yourself so long over a fight. But why not just always be able to enjoy each other on that level? So I want you to go away with this idea. When we say fighting isn't fair, it's not fair to your partner to unleash your anger on them in such a way that is disrespectful, hurtful, and vice versa. If you have issues with your temper, or you have difficulty communicating, and you use the fact that you're not a good communicator, you use anger and volume and volatility to cover for the fact that you don't communicate well, that's not fair to your spouse.
True.
Whether they retaliate or they're quiet, however they respond, is not fair to them. And we have to learn how to communicate better and stay connected to one another, so that when you have a disagreement, you can really talk it out. See the other person's point of view. When we talk about this again, I'll bring up the chocolate candy, the chocolate candy example, and then. The reason why I say that, because sometimes you don't understand why they feel the way they feel. When you begin to dig a little deeper, you'll find out that it may not have anything to do with you, and you can get over get over that and have a greater understanding of one another. Nevertheless, we are out of time for tonight. We thank you for joining us. We hope that you have heard something that will change the way that you think about fighting, and that you will make it your mission to never fight with your spouse again. That you will make it your business to understand them, to speak to them, to relate to them always in a way that is loving, honorable, and respectful. We thank you again for joining us. Please share this video. I know that someone else can make good use of it.
Yes, please.
I know that they can. We have been so blessed to have our marriage restored. We reconciled. It's been 10 plus years ago. We never divorced, but we stopped the foolishness. And God is responsible for that in our lives. And so that is why we now share the way that we do on all the platforms that we do. So please share and help someone else. And we just pray that the Lord will bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you, and give you peace. And we pray that you continue to pursue your spouse. Go after them with all that you have, because they were given to you and you were given to them. Make the most of it. We love you, and we'll see you here again on Couples Pursuit Live.
Bye.